You're welcome to the sports segment here on AM Show, Preview Friday with me, Benedict Usu. And, of course, we're going to talk about what's going to happen this weekend when it comes to the major European leagues, as well as the normalization special competition ongoing here in Ghana. This weekend it enters match day 3. Yesterday, one game was played to finish up match day 2 fixtures. It was Kumasi Asante Kotoko Mediama SC. And Mediama SC clinched their first 3 points in the ongoing normalization special competition after beating Asante Kotoko 1-0 at the Takwa TNA Park in a game which saw Kotoko finished with 10 men. Let's go over to the phone lines and speak to Patrick Akoto, who is Communications Director of Mediama SC. Pato, thanks so much for joining me this morning. Good result for your side playing this competition. This was your first game, right?
Yes, indeed. And good morning to you. Benedict, it's extremely refreshing this morning after beating Kotoko. A well-deserved victory yesterday, beating them 3 times in Takwa the last 3 seasons. That come on the back of our difficult times with the Porcupine Warriors here at the TNA Park. So it's extremely refreshing for us as a club.
And you were at the stadium. I heard your interview with CK Akon. Of course, he was very disappointed after the game. But what do you think worked for your side?
Well, I think that we're more purposeful. I think we're more determined. We had broken the downs that had characterized our game with Kotoko. We had to ensure that anytime it had rained in Takwa, we had always struggled. Last year, rain, we broke that invisibility. 2 years ago, we did the same thing. We had to ensure that we start on a good footing. But we are happy. I mean, we are happy. We still were not happy actually with our second half performance. But we look at it, the rain did not help matters as well. It made ball control very difficult for both teams. If it had not rained, we could have rained more goals. We were the better side on the day. We were the more drill side, and it's gratifying that we pick our first 3 points of the competition.
And how
we are looking forward to our next game against Bichim next.
Okay, so I was going to go to that point. So your next game is against Bichim United, but of course, people thought that the absence of your key player Kwesi Donsu, as well as some of your key players, Kwesi Donsu, you can also talk of Yao, was going to affect the team. But you have started very well, and it looks like that is not going to have any impact on your side.
Well, different players with different dispositions. I mean, clearly, most of the dead ball situations that we have, if we had Kwesi Donsu available, you would be cocksure that he will bury at least one of those infringements. But we are a very strategic club. We sign strategically. We believe that we need to give the youngsters and those who are on the fringes the opportunity to also exhibit their talent. It has not been felt that much, but it's a team in progress, work in progress, and Mobodu is crafting a very formidable team that can compete, that is competing at the highest level here in Ghana. Well, if you lost Yaro, we've lost Kwesi Donsu, Ali Watara, who has been phenomenal at the back, was unavailable. But Musa he just came from Asokwa Deportivo, playing his first Premier League match, but he was solid with his partnership with Daniel Edgin. Of course, Daniel Edgin is evergreen. He's played for Hazaka, he's played for Bichim United, captain them last. So if a well-drilled side, then we can only hope to improve going to the subsequent match.
Patrick, briefly before I take leave of you, after the first round of matches, especially with specific reference to Kumasi Asante Kotoko Indiana Stars game, W. Tando, who is coach of Indiana Stars, lashed out at the referee. Yesterday, I heard you ask CK Akono about the referee's performance. How was it?
Well, I thought the referee did well. There were some calls that very few calls that he had wrong in my estimation, both in both situations. I've heard a lot of talk about claims by Kotoko about having 2 penalty calls ignored. I have the benefit of watching the replay of those incidents over and over again, and the referee was spot on with his decisions. There were nowhere near a claim for a penalty, and I am petrified with the kind of noise that has generated out of this game. People must understand that when you have a better team on the day and a well-drilled team on the day, we're the better side. I mean, Sikakono did not mince words when he said that they have issues, and then they will have to look at it. They play without a striker, and they have issues. I think that they should really focus their energies on dealing with their internal matters can always look for a reason why they lost, and it's always easy to look for a referee and lump all the accusations on the referee. I mean, anytime we lose, we don't go about castigating, making insinuation and attacking, and of course, making derogatory comment about referees. They are humans; they are bound to make mistakes. But those penalty calls claims, as far as we are concerned, the referee Maxwell Hansen and his assistant got it perfectly right. And so it was a good game for us, and we look forward to the next game against the team. We are not concerned about the rubber rousing, and we are not concerned about the noise that is being generated. We want to focus on our games, and the next game is against the United here at the Taco Naboso Park. That's our concern.
All right, Patrick, thanks so much for your time this morning. So Patrick Akoto is Communications Director of Media Mercy. Yesterday, they beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko by a goal to 0 at the Takwa TNA Park. That was actually their first game in this year's competition. That's the normalization special competition. Their next game, as you mentioned, is against Bichim United. That will be at the Takwa TNA Park this weekend. So that will be one of many matches that will be played this weekend in the normalization committee special competition. We'll see the full fixtures on your screen. There you go. So Idiana Stars will play against Ashanti Gold. Big one, of course, at the Doma Park, and then we'll have 11 Wonders in Techiman to play against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and Kotoko will be hoping to bounce back to winning ways after yesterday's defeat. Bichim United become Chelsea also happening this weekend. We have Media Mercy Wild Stars, so rather we're going to have Media Mercy Bichim United because that game should have been the first game of match of this very special competition. So Media Mercy rather Bichim United and Dreams FC will be at the Dewu Park to play against the Buson Doves. The Omina Sharks will be in Omina. They will be hoping to make it back-to-back after that win over Accra Hearts of Oak in midweek when they come up against Wafa. And Karela United, Accra Hearts of Oak, another big game happening this weekend in Dansuman. We'll have Liberty Professionals. They will come up against Interallies. Well, away from the normalization special competition, Deputy Sports Minister Perry Okujeto has been speaking about the last phase of renovation set to take place at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now, the facility saw some facelift ahead of the Alcon, which was hosted last year in November, but some finishing touches are required, according to Perry Okujeto.
Is to wrap up, I would have to check the particular timeline, but he's to wrap up by close of year.
By close of year. And I'm saying all of this considering that finally the normalization committee special cup is starting. We're going to be using the stadium.
And phase 2 have taken care of the works in terms of the inner perimeter of the stadium. We've redone the pitch, we've changed the scoreboard, we've redone dressing rooms, we've redone the VVIP, actually built a fresh presidential box. We've done floodlighting. We're changing most of the broken chairs. That is currently, ongoing. So what it is that we've been able to host the Women AFCON. We've been able to host a few games, and on Saturday you saw the Black Stars and Kenya play at the stadium. So within the inner perimeter, work has been done and completed. What is left is the outer part of the stadium. You know that the stadium is built with steel frames.
Sure.
And because the stadium is close to the sea, the frames have, corroded, and it needs a lot of sand blasting and anti-rust applied to them. And that is the extra work that is being done.
All right, so Ghana moved up 3 places to 49th position in the latest FIFA ranking release yesterday. The Black Stars had occupied the 51st position in the match rankings, but gained 9 points to rise above Norway, Bulgaria, as well as Montenegro. And the Ghana team, after beating Kenya and Mauritania in the AFCON qualifier, as well as the international friendly, which was played last month, remains 6th on the continent. So in Africa, Ghana 6th, ranked 6th behind Senegal, Tunisia, Nigeria, Morocco, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, who occupy the first 5 spots in that order. So Cameroon, Egypt, Burkina Faso, Mali make up to top 10 on the continent, with Ivory Coast just outside the top 10. Well, in our football, let's talk tennis. And the last set of Ghanaian players participating in the ongoing International Tennis Federation under 18 World Junior Circuit in Accra crashed out yesterday. The players could not make it to the semi-finals and finals of the men's singles event as well as the men's doubles. Unseeded player Johnson Aqua was the last Ghanaian in the singles event. He was defeated by another unseeded player from France, Mathis Bonda, 6-2, 6-love. Meanwhile, in the other matches played, unseeded Damien Laporte of Seychelles defeated Egyptian Ishan Lumba 6-1, 6-4. In the doubles event, Benjamin Palmer and Johnson Aqua could not withstand Indian Ishan Lumba and his partner Yusuf Nabil from Egypt. The duo lost 7-5, 6-3. So when you go to the Accra Sports Stadium this morning, the championship will continue and enters day 5. And away from that, of course, we have to look at other news. And Peter Odemwenge, the Nigerian player, finally has retired from football. All right, so Peter Odemwenge has retired from football. We wish him all the best in his future endeavors. But, you know, this weekend matches will be played in the English Premier League. Of course, specific attention will be on Liverpool, Manchester City. All of them will be hoping to win their respective games in terms of the fight for the English Premier League title. And tonight, actually, Liverpool will start off with Southampton at the St. Mary's Stadium. Big one, of course, for the Anfield side. And then tomorrow, God, we'll have Bournemouth will take on Burnley, Huddersfield, Leicester City, Newcastle United, Crystal Palace. A big one, of course, for Crystal Palace, Newcastle United, and Everton, Arsenal, as well as Chelsea will come up against West Ham United. All right, so that's how we end sports this morning here on the show. I'm Benedict. So make sure you join us at 2 on Sports Day. There will be more in terms of preview to matches to expect in the major European leagues this weekend. Also, I will give you more in terms of what to expect this weekend here on the local scene with respect, or with specific attention, to the Normalization Committee special competition. Well, that's how we end the sports this morning. Thanks so much for your company. Enjoy the rest of our programs. We are back on Monday to tell you everything that will happen this coming weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy this weekend as well.